Thank you for joining us for today's webinar with Trove and the National Library of Australia. I'm Rochelle.
And I'm Romy. Hello.
And we work in Trove Partnerships for Trove Collaborative Services. This webinar aims to introduce you to Searching Trove. The National Library of Australia acknowledges Australians First Nations peoples, the First Australians, as the traditional owners and custodians of this land and gives respect to the elders, past and present, and through them to all Australian Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. So what is Trove? Trove can be split into two parts. The first is that it is an online service developed by the National Library of Australia, which brings together records describing items from collections in many different libraries and other institutions. Trove does not manage or hold any of the items, but if you are looking for a resource, Trove can help you locate it if it is held by one of the hundreds of Australian libraries and institutions we are partnered with. The second part is the digitised record part, the newspapers, photos and much more that you can see, read and search for on Trove. That's a really basic description, and Trove is a huge resource and is getting bigger every day. We can't cover everything today, but we are aiming to give you all a basic introduction to searching on Trove and are hoping to do more webinars in the future. And this is what the Trove homepage looks like. And I'll just... So let's get started. And today, as mentioned, we will be introducing you to searching Trove, from basic searches through to searches with a little more detail. Romy, do you want to start us off?
Yes, thanks very much. Let's get started with doing a basic search. Trove has proven to be popular for doing family history research, so let's use that as an example to search with. I'm looking for a Gene Robertson, who was a race car driver in the 1930s. Let's use this information in our search. So on the Trove homepage, go to the search field and enter the name. We're doing a basic search, so we'll leave the category menu alone and select the green magnifying glass button to start searching across all Trove categories. Trove will then generate a search results list for Gene Robertson and variations for every category. The category options are available along the top row and vertically in the same order. You'll see that this vertical list offers newspapers and gazettes, magazines and newsletters, etc., just like the top row. From here, it's up to you where you want to go. The newspapers and gazettes category tends to be popular for a lot of family history research because they're digitized and accessible immediately. But if you'd like to preview the offerings first, have a look at the vertical list. Sure enough, there are articles that feature Gene Robertson, and this list is showing the top 3 results. I want to see all of them now, so I will select the See All button at the bottom right of the category. Now note that this button and the newspapers button back at the top row, they direct you to the same content. So for example, if I wanted to see all the results for images, I can select from the top row or go down to its equivalent in the vertical list and then select the See All button. Every category that has search results will have this button. So let's go back up to newspapers and gazettes. And I will select the See All button. So here are all the newspapers and gazettes results for Gene Robertson and variations of the name. There are about 189,000 results available, and you can sort them by relevance or date order with this drop-down menu. Now, I'd rather not look through 180,000 results for the Jean Robertson whom I want, so I'm going to narrow down this list by adding another search term. Let's go back to the search field. You'll remember that Jean Robertson was a race car driver, so I'll try adding the word race. When I hit the magnifying glass button for a new search with these terms, it has narrowed down the quantity by about a third. But we could narrow down this list even more by using the Refine Your Results column on the right-hand side. As you can see, there are sections that have a lot of offerings. And to see them all, you select Show More. Every box that you check can narrow down your results by criteria such as type of item, place of publication, the publication title, and even the date. The Jean Robertson I'm looking for was alive in the 1930s, so I'll narrow down my results by selecting newspaper. And I will choose a date range. So note that every time you select a checkbox, the other options disappear. You cannot make multiple selections per most criteria in basic searches. It is possible to do this in advanced searching, but that is something that we'll explore in another webinar. So if you want to explore other options, you'll need to uncheck and start again. So now I've been narrowed down to about 13,000 results, more specifically for Jean Robertson and race, in the newspaper format and in this date range. And you'll also see that the new selections I made can be seen up here in the form of tags. And you can remove them if you want by selecting the X. And now it's just a matter of selecting what articles interest me. There are search results that span over quite a few pages, and I can see each page by selecting from the page numbers along the bottom of the list. But let's go back up to the top now. We'll stick with the first page. And let's find an article that applies to our search. Let's try this one. And here is my first selection with Jean Robertson highlighted in the original newspaper and its digitized text in the transcript column.
It is also important to note here that the National Library of Australia focuses on digitising newspapers published before 1954, on the general understanding that they are out of copyright. So generally on Trove, only newspaper content that is published up to and including 1954 is available digitally. You'll find that some newspaper titles published after 1955 are available. That's due to individual agreements that were made with the publisher. If you need content published after 1954, it's still possible to find on Trove, just not in immediate digitised form. If you contact Trove support, we can put you in the right direction. Now these are the results in newspaper and gazettes. What if I want to find a name in another category like magazines?
Yes, no problem. We can do that. So let's go back to our search results page. Now remember that the keywords we used can be applied to all Trove categories here. There's no need to start a brand new search. So we've retained Jean Robertson and race. And from here, I can choose to see the results for Jean Robertson in images even, or unpublished items. But sticking with your suggestion, Rochelle, let's select the magazines and newsletters category. And it looks like I'm lucky here too. Let's try this one. Now, when I select a magazine article, I'll be directed firstly to the record for the entire publication. Select the Read button to see your options. And it turns out that there is an option that's digitized, which I'll select. And here is the magazine with instances of Jean Robertson and race highlighted. Note that this magazine viewer looks similar to the newspaper viewer. These blue boxes indicate the page numbers where the highlighted search terms appear in the magazine. You can scroll down and select the page that you want to see. But remembering that our initial search found Jean Robertson on page 49. So we're already where we need to be. I'll use my mouse to move around the original page by clicking and holding down as I move around and find the highlighted words, and I can magnify in and out as necessary. So there's race. Let's find Jean Robertson. And there she is, Jean Robertson. Now, to see the transcription text for this article, I will select the text icon on the left-hand side. Now, I'd like to find where Jean Robertson is mentioned here. If the transcript text is long, I can scroll down until I find it, or I can just do a word find command to locate the name. Generally, you can do this by using the Control and F keys on your keyboard. And this will bring up the word find command box. And I will enter Jean. See where that goes. Great. So here is where Jean appears in the transcript column. And I can just press Escape to get out of the word find command.
That's great. Is it possible to download something when you find it? It'd be great to keep a copy.
Absolutely. There are a lot of digitized items in Trove that can be downloaded, and if it is an option, it will appear in the Trove viewer. Trove's newspaper articles, for example, are one of the popular categories for downloading, so I'll use that to demonstrate. Let's go back to our original search results. And let's select the newspapers and gazettes category. And I'll just choose the first available article. Now, on the left-hand side, there is an icon of a piece of paper with a downward pointing arrow on it, and that is the download button. When you select it, choose whether you want to download the article, or the whole page, or the entire issue. Now, if you choose page or issue, PDF will be the only format available. But I'll choose to download the article, which will give me more options. Now, text format. Text will generate the article in a new browser tab, ready for use according to the options of your browser or computer. Image and PDF formats will have size options, and you can select them before doing the download. And then you just select the green View button, and your image will be generated in a new browser tab, ready for you to use. So a reminder that items on Trove are only downloadable if they are viewable in a Trove viewer, such as the newspaper viewer I just demonstrated with, and if they have the download icon available. If Trove directs you to view an item on an external website of a holding organisation, such as a library or a gallery, if that site offers downloading, it might have different methods to do it. And I can show you examples of this while searching for an image. So let's start a new search from the Trove homepage. I'm going to search for the New South Wales town Brewarrina, and I'll look at the Images, Maps and Artefacts category. Magnifying glass button, and Images, Maps and Artefacts. There are lots of results here in many different formats, available at various institutions and organisations, such as maps at the National Library, photos from the Australian National University, and here's a photograph from the State Library of South Australia. Now, if you select the photo and select View, you'll see that that library is listed as its viewing option. Now, when you select it, you will be directed out of Trove and to the item record at the State Library of South Australia's website, and they will have their own download method. This library will also have their own conditions for access to the content. If you need assistance, you'll need to contact this library. So let's go back to our Trove search results to find images that I can download. You'll notice that although these are search results for items matching Brewarrina, they're not all necessarily digitised or even accessible. This might be because the holding organisation hasn't digitised the item yet, or there's a cultural safety consideration, or the holding organisation only permits access to its own members or students. So I'm going to narrow down the results in the Refine Your Results column. And in the Access section, I will select Online Free Access. Now, understandably, images are popular amongst family history researchers, and particularly maps, and a lot of them are available for free download in high resolution. So I will select a Brewarrina map. Let's try this one. And I'll select the View option. And here it is, in an image viewer. Here is the Download button. And it turns out that this map's available in JPEG and TIFF format. And once you've selected, you just press the Start Download or Download button. It's that easy. So we've covered searching for a name and keyword in newspapers, magazines and images, and how to download too. And Rochelle, what else can people search for on Trove?
People can also search Trove in languages other than English, and we do have some amazing resources in a number of languages. So like any search, we'll start at the search in the search box and enter our search term. In this case, I'm going to use Yama, which is Gamilaroi, a First Nation language from New South Wales, word for hello. Then, like any other search, you can pick your category and can either go down or up the top. And today, let's have a look at books and libraries. And you can see that some results come up. And again, I'm going to look at Refine Your Results on the side here. A good one to look for when you're doing language is language. And you can see the different languages there. And this lets you filter for items that are in the language. It may be joint English in the language, or purely the language you click on, or perhaps multiple languages. But a significant part should be the language you pick. In this case, let's go Gamilaroi. And there we go to results. So if I open the first one here, you can see it goes through, and I might click read, and yep, it's digitized. And again, highlighted. Yeah, and you can see that it goes through different vocab words, and there is a lot in Gamilaroi.
Rochelle, I also see that your search also accommodates the spelling of Gamilaroi with a G and a K, so you're safe to try different versions.
Yes, thanks. Okay. And I'll pass back to you.
Well, we hope that this introduction to Trove searching has been helpful to you. If you would like more information about searching and using Trove, we recommend visiting the help page. This is a great starting point for you to find answers to a lot of questions. So just go to any Trove page and select the help link at the top right corner. The help sections contain a wide range of content that can answer your questions about using Trove, from step-by-step searching instructions to managing your Trove account. Chances are that your question can be answered straight away and you can get on with your Trove research.
This is also the place to go for help when making specific and advanced searches. Information on First Australian content and how to use the Trove viewer for the item that you're looking at. There's also information about borrowing items, getting copies, copyright, and help with using Trove on your computer system.
Now, if you can't find what you need, if you have a specific question about using Trove or would like assistance with your research, select the About tab at the top right corner of Trove pages. And go to the Contact Us section to select the type of inquiry you have.
This section is helpful if you are doing family history research and you don't know where to start, if you have a problem while using Trove, or even if you have an interesting Trove experience that you'd like to share.
Thanks very much for joining us, and we wish you success with your Trove research.
Thanks for joining us, and good luck with your searching.